Hiya! Welcome to my Study Abroad Experience, the series, where I'm sharing lessons I learned from my experience studying abroad to help enrich your own study abroad experience or to give you that confidence to make that decision if you're still considering your studies abroad. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. And if you like these videos, which I am very sure you will, click the thumbs up button. Also like my other videos and stay up to date with my recent videos by clicking the bell button to get notified. Okay? So, you're missing home. Aww. It's pretty normal. Homesickness is very common amongst people living and studying and even working abroad. So don't feel sad, don't be ashamed, and don't rush into drastic conclusions just because you're feeling homesick. And no, it doesn't necessarily mean that you made a mistake or made a wrong decision by moving to a new city. If you really look into yourself to understand why the way you feel, you will find out that in most cases, you miss someone or something back home. And I would say you should count yourself lucky to have someone or something that makes saying goodbye very difficult. Homesickness can be so intense that it makes settling in that new country more difficult than it should be. So much so that people have abandoned their mission and headed back to base. Now, the good news is that there are several ways you can address this feeling and, address the elephant in the room before jumping the gun and heading back home, which is what this video is going to focus on. Because you got to finish what you started, okay? You can't just start something and not finish it. So listen up. How do you address the feeling of homesickness? When you're missing home, what are the things you should do to help you not miss home as much as you do? The first thing I'll say is you should acknowledge how you feel and probably journal it. Journaling is actually good because you just pour out your heart to a book and you find that you're lighter because you're able to express yourself, the feelings, everything, the anger, the sadness, everything. Put it down in the book and you find that you're lighter. The next, and I think this is the most important if you ask me, is to connect with others. I know it's easier said than done. Yes, I know. And I know you've heard it several times. So why should you do it? Well, I think for the first reason, you want to deal with this homesickness, which is why you should do it. And secondly, we are human beings, okay? We are social creatures. We depend on cooperation. We rely on cooperation. We depend on people directly or indirectly to survive and to thrive. So you need people in this new environment. The third one, I believe, is the benefits that you get from meeting new people. I know I have a lot of benefits. One of them is you learn about where you are in the first place. And then you also meet new friends. And you also improve your soft skills. So these are some of the benefits for connecting with people. Alongside dealing with your homesickness, you have several benefits. You make new friends, long-lasting friends who can even help your career. I know it's going to be difficult for you if you are shy, but what you can do in that case is to expose yourself. For me, I'm shy. For me, I'm shy. For me, I'm shy. Anyway, that's not important. What I mean is that you expose yourself. What I mean by exposing yourself is be there in events, orientation, go there. Do not shy away. Just stay. Make yourself available. You may not be the one to initiate the conversation. People will come to you and ask questions, respond. So how do you start connecting with people? I'll say as an international student, the first place you should look at is at the university. So begin at the university. The university has a lot of people there, both domestic and international students. And these international students, even the domestic ones, are looking to meet new people and make friends. So they also have the same goal as you, which makes it very easy. So your classmates can be one place. You interact with them, talk, connect, exchange contact. If you're doing research, for instance, master's by research and doctoral studies, your research group is one place to start. And if you're fortunate that you would have people who have already been there, international students, maybe in their third year of PhD, second year of PhD, so they understand, they'll be able to guide you. In my case, my research group was still, still building up. We're not a lot, but we still I had some people that were there already, so they were able to guide me. But it was, for me, it was more of academic. The university did not really have a lot of programs for postgraduate students. They have so many social programs that brings undergraduate and master students together. I think because the idea is that postgraduate students are already, adults, so they're mature mentally. So they don't really have much social programs for postgraduate students, and I guess because we are too serious for our own liking. But they have doctoral inductions and the initial programs for new postgraduate students. So I attended that, and that is where I made one of my friends, which together we've traveled to a lot of places. So you go there and participate. Don't just be there, partake in the activities. And that way you connect with people, you exchange numbers, and who knows, this could turn to lifelong friends. So yes, try to connect with people, meet new friends, put in that extra effort, because this is a new environment. You don't really know a lot of people. If you're like me, it would just be you and only you. So you have to make that extra effort. Another way to deal with homesickness, the feeling of missing home, is by immersing yourself in your new environment. Remember that one of the reasons you went there in the first place was for the experience. So why not make the most of it? And how do you do this? You mentally prepare yourself to live in that environment. So mentally commit to living in your new home, the new country. Then also make intentional effort to adapt physically. You can start by maybe turning your room to your new home. So you could add pictures. Usually people have photos plattered everywhere. You could bring like an ornament from home that remind you of home. Some people have their flags. It gives you that feeling of home. So try to turn your room, your space, to home. If you're sharing a room with someone, which can happen in some cases, then just your area, your bed space, you can make it look, like home, cozy and comfortable for you. So that's one way to do it. Then create a discovery list. So make a bucket list of things you want to do in that country. Every country, has something, some sort of history, and some building, a place that reminds, gives the history of that place. So try to learn more about your environment. You can also involve your new friends. See, invite them to the expedition and like, okay, today we are going to this place. Why don't we try to go to this place? Different places. And luckily for us here, the country is more of a tourist environment. So there are so many things you can do. You don't lack anything to do. It may not be the case for you, it may not be as touristy as this place, but there is still something you can learn. So create a discovery list. It will activate your adventurous side, and you'll always have something to look forward to. You can always invite your friends too. Another way you can deal with homesickness is by keeping in touch. Stay in touch with family and friends. I know that the reason why you travel abroad for some people would have been to gain your independence, but that doesn't mean you should completely shut down your family. They would want to know what you're up to. It could just be as simple as sharing photos of that exotic food that you ate, or maybe that cricket in chocolate ice cream that you had in Australia. I'm saying something from my experience. But yeah, stay in touch with your family and friends. There are several ways you can do this. So you could do this by social media, which is the very common thing these days. You can instant messaging. You can use emails. You can send mails as well, postal mails, phone calls. What else? So many channels to keep in touch. Choose the one that works best for you. Another thing you can do is to keep in touch is also to plan trips with your loved ones. So for instance, for me, I went for one of my friends' wedding, and it was something to look forward to, because you know that you're going to meet people, your friends again. You chat about your experience. They also tell you what has happened with them. It's always good. So you have something to look forward to. So you can plan trips, maybe with your family, to meet up in a particular country or whatever. These are activities you can do to keep in touch. Now, there are things I would like you to know that may hinder your efforts, but are not very serious things, but you find it's very common. You'll find it very common when you are living overseas and you're trying to stay in touch with your family back home. The number one thing is poor Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a problem. So poor connection is one thing to know that may hinder your ability to stay in touch. You can avoid this by using university Wi-Fi or going to internet cafes. So that one is not really, it's something to know, but it's not really a problem. The second factor that may make keeping in touch a bit difficult than it should be is time difference. So the if you're in the southern hemisphere, be sure to have at least 11 hours time difference. But in that case, you and your family would have to compromise. You find a time that works for you. Then lastly, you could see that you're very good at keeping in touch. You're reaching out, you're doing everything, but you're not receiving that same energy from these people. What's up now? Well, if it really bothers you, which in most cases it will, because you're homesick and you're trying to get this person and the person is not picking up for several times. So what is going on? Speak with the person. So tell them how you feel about it and propose solutions. So it could be that both of you would agree to talk at a certain time in a day or a specific day in a week, whichever works for you. But don't just shut down and feel miserable. There probably is a reason. Try to work a convenient time that works for both of you. Something else that I feel like is going to help deal with your homesickness is temporarily putting aside social media. Yes, social media, it's good because it keeps you in contact with your family, but too much of it is not good because it starts, a lot of things are shared on social media, so you start feeling like you are missing out, and then you start having homesickness. You start missing home. So we don't want that. So I think temporarily putting aside social media would be very good for your sanity. Trust me, do that. But before you do this, I would say maybe let your family, the people who you call regularly, know so that they don't get worried. For instance, if you're someone that likes sharing photo every day, you're sharing photo and suddenly you stop sharing photo and nobody really knows because you took a hiatus from social media, your close family and friends don't know about it, they will get worried. So we don't want them to be worried. So you let them know, I'm not available, or I'm only available this is a certain time. But once in a while, take a break from social media and just live in the moment and enjoy your surroundings. Next is practice self-care. A lot of us students don't really know how to take care of ourselves. Self-care is not just physical, taking care of your physical health and well-being. It is also taking care of your mental health and well-being, which I think is very important, because if you're not well up here, you cannot really function. Trust me, you can't. Something else that I noticed is the imposter syndrome, which actually is also in your brain, like it's a function of your mental health. Where imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're a fake, so you want to rush home and hide in your shell, in your comfort zone, then you start missing home and everything. So mental health is very important in helping you stay the course, finish your study abroad, and reducing homesickness while you're at it. So this is all part of self-care. Now, how can you practice this self-care? You could create a routine. You already have good habits, okay, and good routines. Keep that up. Create new ones. Let go of the bad ones, or modify and adjust them if they are very weak. Exercise regularly. There is something that exercise does to your body that you wouldn't know until you exercise. It releases the happy hormones. So exercise regularly. Just going for a walk, you don't have to really do something serious. If you're lazy, go for walks. Try to make up 10,000 steps, and as you're going for the walk, observe your environment. You will see things that you didn't really pay attention to. And also mind your diet. This is a bit tricky because comfort food is a thing, and I'm guilty of comfort food. But then if you're eating carelessly, you see that you're gaining weight, and if you're someone that is very conscious about how you look physically, you start getting sad, and you don't want that. So mind your diet. What else? Do something that you love. So you would have a hobby, something that you love to do, keep doing that. You could also learn something new. Go out, like you could be learning a new language, learning a new skills, um, joining a football club or a sports club. Just do something exciting. I find that a lot of people talk down on themselves. They put themselves down. Like you can say, I'm very stupid, oh, I'm foolish, oh, useless me. Those words, they get to you sometimes. After a while, especially when you are in a different country, you start believing them without thinking about it. If you're back home, you will have someone that will caution you, or you have your friends, that will reassure you. My guy, keep quiet, or babe, shut up, what are you saying? These kind of things. But here you are new, you are still trying to connect, make friends, you're still trying to discover the place, you're still trying to take care of yourself and all that. And then you talking down yourself doesn't really help. I think it aggravates the whole situation. So try, rather than blaming yourself for feeling homesick and all that, try to talk to yourself. It means you have someone you care and love. You're going to see this person soon. You're strong. You got this. Speak to yourself like you're advising your friends. So work on positive thinking. It will really help. Mental homesickness is actually a feeling, which feelings come from our mental well-being and all that. So if you can take care of yourself, practice some of these self-care things, then you should be able to overcome your that feeling of missing home. There are so many available resources within the country. It varies by countries. Some countries have it more than others, because some countries focus on mental health issues more than other countries. That is fine. But for universities that take international students, they usually have a department that focuses on international students' well-being. So you go to those universities if you are in a state that you can't really, you feel that you're getting to that level where you may reach state of helplessness. You go to them, talk to them. They will be able to guide you. They can connect you with existing students, people who have already been there for years. They'll point you in the right direction. There is also the university health and counseling. You can visit the health clinic, and they have therapy sessions sometimes, which is going to be free for you because you're a student, where you can talk to a therapist or go meet a counselor and talk about how you feel. This is someone that doesn't know you. So if you were afraid of telling your friends how you felt because you were afraid of being judged, you can actually meet these people who should be professionals, are professionals, and they will be able to listen to you without judging. Again, you paid for health insurance, Abby. It's part of your conditions to be in that country. You need to have health insurance, especially if you're in New Zealand, for me. So your health insurance will give you access to professional therapists as well through university, or you could call them directly, and then they reimburse and all that. So yeah, if that feeling of homesickness is getting too much, talk to a professional about it. They have experience in this case. If they cannot handle it, they'll refer you to someone who will be able to handle your case. And be sure you're not going to be judged. I know it's hard. I don't know if it's an African thing, but I know for sure that Nigerians don't really do this therapy thing. Like, we don't take it seriously. But I feel once in a while, you try to meet a therapist, a professional, and talk to them. They don't judge you. They are not supposed to judge you. So you can bear your mind there with them, and then you come out feeling relieved. Then also call the helpline. If you have a helpline in your country, you call the helpline and they'll be able to help you. That if that feeling is really coming strong and you feel that you're going to do something stupid, so you call the helpline and yeah, they will help you. And lastly, be very kind to yourself. Yes, there is only one you, so be kind to you. I know we perfectionists, we tend to be very hard on ourselves because we need everything to come out perfect. But just cut yourself some slacks, okay? Give yourself a break. Be kind to yourself just as you're kind to others. All right. For more tips and information on how to deal with homesickness, visit my blog, thesassyengineer.com. The address is here, to get more information on how to deal with homesickness and many more information on my study abroad experience. And that will be all for today on dealing with homesickness while you're studying abroad. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button Don't forget to subscribe, like the rest of my videos as well. And if you have any question, you feel free to ask that in the comment section. If you have other tips on how you dealt with your homesickness when you were living abroad, studying abroad, or working abroad for whatever reason, also share that in the comment section. If you would like to talk to me privately, you can go to my website, thesassyangela.com, and send me a message there, and I'll be sure to respond. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.